So today I'm gonna show you guys how to draw boxes, and we're gonna turn our box into a cheese castle. So let's get into it. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do a horizon line. It's just a straight line. This is off in the distance, and we're gonna put 2 points. These are gonna be called our vanishing points, okay? And the reason that we have these is because when we draw our box, the sides of the box are going to get smaller as they go further away. And so the lines that we make are going to be going towards those points. So we're going to make a straight line. This is going to be the front edge of our box. And I'm going to take the top of this line and I'm going to draw a straight line from this point to this point. I'm going to do the same thing down here. And same thing here, going to this point. And go to that point. Now, to find out where our back edges are going to be, first we need to figure out where our box is going to end. So we're going to do this right here, and then draw a line like this. Okay, so now we take points. We're going to go from this point to this point. Okay, and then from this point to this point. And you see how I'm doing this really fast? I'm trying to connect those lines together. Okay, so this is our back edge. And so if we were to draw a line right here, this would be our wireframe for our box. I don't want to get super complicated, so we're just gonna stick with that. Now, a castle, we need a door. So we're gonna throw a door right there, just a little arch. Go from one side right here, go here, and you can make any shaped door that you want, but we're going to make an inner edge to this door. So again, this point, and we're going to kind of follow this same line. Just imagine that that's going in that way. And we just make a small curved line. And now you've got this inner edge making this box look like it's got depth. So this is a cheese fort. We're going to make it a Swiss cheese fort. And so you can make any kind of shapes in here, but there's a lot of circles in Swiss cheese. So we're just going to make some foreshortened circles. Really, they're just ovals, if you want to think of it that way. And you can put them anywhere you want. You could even do a half circle. Same thing that we did here where we did this really long arch. You can make half circles on the edges. We're going to do some more circles here. Do a smaller one. Yeah, maybe a smaller arch here. Now we're going to do the same thing that we did on our door. Make that inner edge. So on the left circles, we're making that left side edge because that's the side that you can see. That one's going to be very small, but just follow the curve of that circle. And now you've got a few little circular window holes peeking into your cheese fort. All right, so now I am gonna do a circle, a big circle. I'll do a big circle right here. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a tower that comes up. And we're gonna make a little tower top. We could do another box. Let's keep it simple though. Well, no, you know what? Let's do the box. And we're just gonna go now. This is above the horizon line, so now we're going to be seeing the underside of the box. Here we see the top side because it's below the horizon line. But because we're above the horizon line, now we're gonna see the bottom of this box. So we're gonna do that again. This line, this line. Oh. And if you make a mistake, you can always fix it. All right, and then I'm using a marker just so it's easier for you to see, but you can use a pencil if that's what you have. And pencil you can erase. All right, so again, so this is gonna be a cylinder when we're done with it. So just pretend that this line is going behind the cylinder, right? Behind. Okay, and then, yeah, we've got these lines here. So we're gonna connect, make it rounded at the top as if it's touching and connected, okay? And now we're gonna cut in, we'll cut in just like Swiss cheese. Again, just make some circles, half circles, and we'll connect those in there so that there's an inner edge. Maybe make some circles in here. Okay, and then we're gonna throw a few more windows right here. I almost went the wrong direction. Okay, and here. We'll kind of darken some of these in. I'm gonna go over with a darker marker in a minute here, but this is just to give you an idea. I'm gonna do an inner edge right here. So we didn't do this yet, but imagine if you drew a line following, again, going towards those vanishing points, and you just connected the edge here. And then you just, instead of making this go all the way around, you could make an inner edge like that. You could ignore that line, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. But we'll darken in this, and something like that. All right, so now we can come back and we can darken these lines. I'll also show you how to shade this so that it looks like it's popping out at you. But let's start darkening in these lines that we're committed to. What I love about drawing is it's literally taking what's inside your head and making it real. Just because it's a cartoon doesn't mean that it's not real. And it's like, you're talking about using your imagination, right? You can literally draw anything. I'm gonna round these corners here, because cheese is not necessarily perfectly square, right? So now we're just ignoring some of these lines. A lot of these guidelines. It's easier, obviously, if you have a pencil, because then you can erase all these little lines. You can't erase marker, but this is just so you can see. And again, I'm rounding the corners. This cheese is, and you can even make some wobbly lines. It doesn't have to be a perfectly straight line, because as long as you have the general guide, you're going in that general direction, cheese is it's kind of wobbly in spots, right? And you know, I don't always connect the lines. If you do like some lines breaking up along here, just adds a little bit of texture. Again, you know, add some lines there, break it up a little bit. And you can add texture all over this cheese castle. In a minute, I'm going to show you how to do some shading. So that it really starts to pop out at you. All right, and we're gonna go here again. Okay. All right, now let's just really make this pop with some shading. Now, with a pencil, you're gonna want to shade very lightly, and you just go from light to dark. The darker you go, sometimes the harder it is to erase. So our light source is gonna be coming from this way. Okay, and it's gonna be hitting the front side of this. So this is not in the back, it's coming from the front. So we're gonna do, if it's coming from the front, then this is gonna be dark because this portion of the castle is in front of it. So it's casting a shadow right there. Okay, these will be kind of light because the sun is gonna be coming through these little holes, right? When you come to the underside of these holes, I actually go a little bit lighter. Let me see here. Here we go. Yeah, just a little, just so you can see a little bit better. Again, these inner edges, those are going to be in shadow. Now I didn't draw a line here, but that's okay. I can draw a line, but I can also shade. Now this side would not be as dark necessarily as the back side, which you can't see, but it still is not getting direct light. Underneath here would not get light. It would definitely be shadowed underneath here. Again, this is not necessarily going to be seen. This underside, the top portion will be into shadow. This again will be in shadow. Now on a sphere, we're trying to go with the contour. So if it helps, shade along the contour. And again, this is the dark side. So it's darker on this side, and as you get closer to the light source, it gets lighter. Okay, so what do we think here? Do you think this would be shaded? I think so, because this will cast a shadow on here. And it will cast a shadow along the top, because the light cannot get to this side. So again, you're shading towards that vanishing point, and that will help put your shadow in perspective. Right here, the light would probably reach the top side here, but it wouldn't reach the bottom. And I may have messed up here. This may or may not get sunshine. It depends on how low the sun is, right? But I'm imagining the sun coming this way, and so the rays would miss and not be able to touch that portion. So the sun's kind of low. It would hit up here because it can hit up top here, right? But it's still high enough that this area is in shadow. Okay. Again, these are gonna be totally in shadow. Might have some light hitting. Maybe there's light coming in from the inside of the castle. I'm starting to run out of marker there. Okay. Do some just doing indications. A lot of this is, you don't have to be perfect, especially when you're learning. The important thing is that you keep trying, you keep experimenting. That's all that drawing and art really is experimenting and expressing what's in your head. Let's see. Here we go. Got a couple different grays going on here. That's okay though. So again, underneath, light is gonna hit here. Light may or may not. Just depends on what you want, but I think the underside of this edge will be dark. There might be a little bit of light bouncing in from inside here. Okay, let's talk about the shadow on the backside. This is gonna be probably the darkest color that we have, and it's gonna go back that way. So darken this a little bit. Now, again, following that line, those guidelines are super helpful. Okay, if the light is coming across here, then we're probably gonna get something like this. So just drawing the indication, the shape. Again, you don't have to be perfect with the shape, especially on a cartoon drawing, but you're just drawing the indication that it is casting a shadow, and you're just following the general direction of that vanishing point. And there we go. So that's how you draw a box in 2-point perspective. So remember, vanishing points, this is 2-point perspective. And it's also how you can cut shapes into your boxes. We practiced going below and above the horizon line. And so I want you guys to try this and let me know how it goes. All right, guys, I will see you in the next one.